Talking about Last Man Standing, one of my favorite shows of all time. For some reason, it got canceled, and it looks like the Clinton campaign had something to do with it. Did she? Did she not? We're going to find out, so stay with me. Now, Home Improvement to this day is one of the most successful shows to ever grace the small screen. Though the show did occasionally dive into politics, its main purpose seemed to be projecting the family life and the struggles of marriage and adolescent upbringing. Important to note is its obvious target audience, the average family man. Even within the show, Tool Time focused heavily on men's issues, appealing to American dads.
Remember last time I was telling you how bathrooms had become a woman's domain? Well, not anymore, since the crew and I designed and built the bathroom for men only. Guys, bring out my bathroom.
So when Tim Allen launched Last Man Standing over a decade after the cancellation of Home Improvement, a lot of people just assumed it was a gimmick, a reboot similar to Fuller House, which is on Netflix. Little did they know that the show would take on a life of its own. And as season after season progressed, Tool Time was forgotten and the Outdoor Man triumphed.
Baxter for Outdoor Man, here to talk about scare tactics. Sadly, they work. I'm just enjoying some mixed nuts. Oh. You see, the part of the brain that triggers fear works faster than the part that controls reason. For some people, little kids who are afraid of the dark, and certain son-in-laws are afraid of, well, just about everything, the reason part of the brain never really kicks in. Human beings are blessed with reason, but it's harder to use it when the media bombards you with terrifying images. Tsunamis, plane crashes, the new Colonel Sanders. That's why I'm declaring Outdoor Man a fear-free zone, because we don't sell fear. We sell courage, we sell engagement between man and nature in the form of kayaks, climbing gear, and on sale this month, casting rods. You see, the world is kind of the opposite of Hillary Clinton. It actually gets less scary the better you know it. I'll leave you with a quote. Fearless is not the absence of fear. Fearless is living in spite of those things that scare you to death. And what great philosopher said that? Aristotle? Schopenhauer? Descartes? No, it was Taylor Swift. If that ain't scary, I don't know what is.
The show lasted 6 great seasons, but the feel of the show seemed much more political and risque than Home Improvement ever did. Tim Allen's portrayal of Mike Baxter was an avid, conservative, gun-owning man's man with a flair for finding balance between some of the more divided political issues in today's society. Little did he know at the time that his jabs at Obama and Hillary Clinton would eventually cost him the series.
So if you're a young person who's not exactly sure where life is taking you, that's okay. You know, we can't all be Barack Obama and have our first job be president.
Though many have claimed that the show was canceled due to finances or programming schedules, many found it unusual that such a hit television series would have trouble staying on the air. Is it a coincidence that the top grossing and most watched sitcom on ABC just happened to get canceled during the Clinton campaign's sprint for the White House? Did Mike Baxter really have that much of an influence on America's men? What Clinton didn't account for was the fact that The Last Man Standing was more than just another television show. It was a reason for conservative families to gather, and this show had a flair for sparking debate in the household. It turns out that Last Man Standing was exceptionally appropriately named. Tim Allen was the last man standing, in a world of television that insists on promoting weak masculinity and over-the-top feminization of male gender as a whole. When it was canceled, ABC suffered a boycott, including one from yours truly. And I hope that a lot of you continue to boycott any network that stands to buy us on any political level. So what was it about this show that contrasts the liberal agenda so much? Well, just about everything.
Do you want me to give you some notes before you send it in?
Why, send it in? What do you mean?
The faculty committee needs to approve it after they check for microaggressions.
Microaggressions? You mean like midget warriors?
No, they're objectionable words or phrases. For instance, midget warriors.
I know what microaggressions are. It's the latest liberal attack at free speech. And a lot of fun if you do them right.
The university has a list of stuff they don't allow speakers to say, to protect the students.
From what, ideas?
It's just the way that my school does things, Dad. Please, my grade is riding on this.
Fine.
You can't say ladies and gentlemen because it excludes those who don't identify as either.
But those are the only two choices.
No, not anymore. You just have to keep it gender neutral, okay? Please continue.
Is the land of opportunity. I stand before you as...
Stop. Okay, by saying that America is the land of opportunity, you are implying that everyone has the same opportunities.
I'm not implying it, I'm saying it. If you live here and you work hard, you can succeed. That's how this works.
Yeah, that one's on here too. It hurts the feelings of those who work hard and don't succeed.
Yeah. Where's the list of stuff that doesn't hurt people's feelings? That's got to be a short one.
The show promoted Christian values in a world hell-bent on persecuting Christians in particular, yet seemed to have no limit promoting Islam, atheism, or pagan worship. Pagan meaning the worship of several gods at once. It turns out that there's nothing tolerant about the liberal agenda, except when it comes to any system that wasn't the foundation of their comfortable lifestyle in the first place. Masculinity also played a major hand because it showed that real men are three-dimensional. The average man is indeed a person, with real thoughts, and a right to voice their opinion. Hollywood likes to tell us how to act, how to think, so a program that shows men that they can be men surely can't be tolerated with a biased network like ABC.
Presidential inauguration, right?
I was invited by, we did a VIP thing for the vets and went to the Veterans Ball, and so I went to go see the Democrats and Republicans. Yeah, I went to the inauguration. It was
I'm not attacking you.
You get in this town. I'm not kidding. You got to be real careful around here. You know, you get beat up. If you don't believe what everybody believes, this is like 30s Germany. I don't know what happened. If you're not part of the group, you know what we believe is right. I go, well, I might have a problem with that. I'm a comedian. I like going on both sides.
Fox, of course, owned the rights to the show, even though Last Man Standing found its home on the ABC network. A deal that held Fox responsible for financing the show while ABC soaked up the ratings was only contracted for 6 seasons, at which point ABC was to finance the show themselves. This was in the contract. So why didn't ABC flip the bill after the 6 seasons were over? Odd that such a successful show would be on the chopping block. Yes? The Clinton campaign seems to be at the root of it. Even though the show itself wasn't canceled until after the election, the choice to not continue was made during Clinton's sprint for the White House. According to the IRS, the Clinton Foundation spent over $75 million in broadcasting. ABC's very own George Stephanopoulos, who is a longtime Clinton insider, by the way, is under scrutiny for not disclosing his personal $75,000 contribution when reporting on the Clinton Foundation. James Murdoch, Chief Operating Officer of 21st Century Fox, also donated anywhere between $1 to $5 million in contributions toward the Clinton campaign. This is why Last Man Standing can't get picked up on any other network. Almost every major television network is in league with the Clintons in one way or another. Clinton really did bank on being president. The CEO of Sony Pictures also contributed ridiculous amounts of money to the Clintons just before the company shat on every childhood heart by turning Ghostbusters into one 90-minute long feminist domination joke. So I believe that Tim Allen's regular jabs at Hillary Clinton did play a part in its cancellation. Either way, us fans are pissed and want answers. ABC claims that the show's cancellation had nothing to do with the politics. Right. But seeing as it was the second most watched show on television and growing, how does this make any sense? Since when do network executives not want to make money? Till this day we haven't heard any kind of talks of negotiations or anything of the sort. The show's cancellation wasn't discussed with Tim Allen or any of the cast members at all. No show in history has had that kind of ratings but had no negotiations with picking up contracts, especially on such short notice. And it's important to note just how quickly the network wanted to get rid of anything to do with the show. Almost immediately, the ABC network released information about auctions about all the stuff on the set being sold off, so they wanted to get rid of it fast. So could it be that Tim Allen was just unwilling to compromise the conservative integrity of the show? I believe so. I think that with its millions upon millions of fans, Last Man Standing held the flame of conservative values with pride, and somewhere high in the ranks, the liberal left decided that Republican values must die. Though CMT had shown some interest in picking up the series, plans didn't fall through, unfortunately. So it seems, at least for now, that The Last Man Standing has fallen. As long as Hollywood remains liberal, the source of our entertainment will continue to program the nation with weak, sad excuses for men and overbearing, bigoted feminist ideals. California, where the common rule is that women are women and men are women or under their heels, one way or another. Well, little did they know that such values aren't so easily muted. If the election of Donald Trump has taught me anything, it's that though Republicans may keep quiet as modern liberals have now been trained to pounce on anything that may have a different or traditional opinion, but when it comes to vote, we're not fucking around. Hopefully Trump will get around to standing up for this type of foul play and impose hefty penalties for networks that oppose the freedom of thought and expression. They're not supposed to do that. Networks are supposed to stay neutral. Everybody remembers, like, before any kind of a movie that you used to watch when we were kids, you know, the opinions in this, blah, 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 the warnings before it. They're not supposed to have an opinion towards it. So what's the big deal here? Control of entertainment is control of the loud. And the quiet conservative or traditional that remain sit patiently for their time to rise and vote. Common sense, decency, and traditional values will always trump immorality, and Babylon is falling. The latest from Tim Allen is that he has returned to stand-up comedy, as he now realizes that this seems to be the sole remaining venue where at least some opinions can be heard without having to mold the likes of the biased networks. So this topic really does piss me off, and California seems to be at the root of this. For those of you that haven't been following the news, Trump has been recently trying to get all the illegal immigrants out of California. For more information on that, check this video right here. If you have any opinions on this, I'd love to hear it. If you're a fan of Last Man Standing, please let me know and, you know, say something crude and angry towards ABC. Because, you know, I'd love to send them the link to this video and show other fans pissed off. If you're a fan of Politically Impaired, don't forget we have t-shirts and hats and all other stuff. So, like, check out the link in the description below to look at all that kind of stuff. I'm also an author. I have several books being released very, very soon. One that's already on the shelf, so if you're interested in that, again, link in the description below. But anyway, if you have any suggestions for Politically Impaired in the future, I'd love to hear it. So I'm all ears. That's all I have to say for today. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.